So if your warehouse runs on SAP, you're going to want to listen up because a major shift is on the horizon. The classic warehouse management system, the one we all know as WM, is being phased out. That means moving to the new Extended Warehouse Management, or EWM, on S/4HANA, well, it's not really an option anymore. It's a necessity. Today, we're going to unpack this whole journey for you. And let's be really clear about this. This is not just some simple software update. As Rocket Consulting puts it so perfectly, WM is dead, long live EWM. We're talking about a ground-up redesign, a total revolution in how SAP thinks about warehouse logistics. It's a completely new strategy, and figuring out the path forward is absolutely crucial.
All right, so here's our game plan. Think of this as our strategic map. First, we'll talk about the deadline that's forcing everyone's hand. Then, we'll look at your options for your new warehouse. After that, we'll map out the migration blueprint itself. Check out the tools SAP gives you. And finally, we'll get a little reality check on what it really takes to navigate this journey. Okay, let's dive right in. Our journey here really begins with a hard deadline. And this isn't some friendly suggestion from SAP. It's a fundamental change to the platform with a date that is not moving. You see, for anyone moving to S/4HANA, SAP has offered this little temporary bridge called a compatibility pack. It lets you keep using your old WM module for a little while. But, and this is a huge but, that license gets pulled at the end of 2025. It's a temporary fix, basically a throwaway option, which means a strategic move to EWM isn't just a good idea, it is completely 100% unavoidable. The clock is definitely ticking.
So, now that we all understand why this is happening, let's talk about the what. This is really the first big strategic fork in the road you're going to face, deciding which flavor of EWM is the right fit for your business.
And the central question you have to answer is all about deployment. Are you going to embed EWM right into your main S/4HANA system, or are you going to run it as a separate, decentralized system? Trust me, each path has some pretty big implications for both your IT landscape and your day-to-day warehouse operations.
So let's break down these two main routes. First, you've got embedded EWM. Think of it as running right inside the engine of your S4 H&A core. This really simplifies your IT world and gives you awesome real-time data integration. It's usually perfect for smaller to mid-sized warehouses. On the other hand, you have decentralized EWM. This runs on its own separate server. Now, the huge, massive advantage here is resilience. If your main ERP system goes down for maintenance or has an issue, your warehouse just keeps on working. This makes it the clear winner for those massive, complex distribution centers where any downtime is a total disaster.
Okay, so once you've picked your path, what does the actual plan look like? I know it can seem a little daunting, but the good news is SAP has broken it down into a pretty logical sequence of steps.
The whole migration really follows this clear 5-step plan. You start with setup and design, getting the new system ready. Then you move on to migrating your master data, all your products and partners. Step 3 is all about the warehouse layout, transferring that digital blueprint of your facility. Step 4, this is the big one, stock migration, moving your actual live inventory data. And then finally, step 5 is go live, the final cutover where you validate everything in the new system.
Every successful expedition needs the right equipment. And a data migration of this size is absolutely no different. So what has SAP packed in our toolkit to help us do all the heavy lifting?
I mean, this is the question that probably keeps supply chain leaders up at night, right? You've got years, maybe even decades, of carefully organized warehouse data. How in the world do you get all of that from point A to point B without losing anything or just causing total chaos?
Well, SAP's answer, and their main, officially recommended tool for this job, is the S4 HANA Migration Cockpit. And this isn't some third-party thing you have to bolt on. It's the official, built-in framework designed from the ground up to handle this exact kind of data transfer. And what's really powerful about this tool is just how specific it gets. It's not just doing one giant, clumsy data dump. Instead, it uses these specific migration objects that are designed for each key piece of your warehouse. So SAP gives you tools to move everything from your physical storage bins to your product master data and even your core strategies for how you put away and pick stock. This approach makes the whole process so much more manageable and way less prone to errors. So we've got our plan, we've got our tools, we're feeling pretty confident. But just like any big expedition, the map isn't the territory. There are some critical rules of the road you have to follow, especially when it comes time for that final cutover.
And here we are at one of the most critical operational questions you'll face. A warehouse is a living, breathing thing, right? At any given moment, you've got trucks arriving, orders being picked, things are constantly in motion. So, what happens to all of those in flight processes during the migration? And here it is, the golden rule you simply cannot ignore. The migration tools do not move active business transactions. It's just completely out of scope. That means any open documents, deliveries, transfer orders, you name it, they all have to be fully processed and closed out in the old system before you can migrate. So what does this mean in reality? It means your cutover plan has to include a serious cleanup phase. We're talking about confirming or canceling every single open transfer order, finishing up any physical inventory counts, and even clearing stock that's virtually sitting on a forklift. Every single open document has to be finalized in your old WM system. Only then, once you have a perfectly clean slate, can you take that snapshot of your inventory to migrate. So the move to EWM on S/4HANA is no longer a question of if, but when. That 2025 deadline is coming up fast, and this journey, it takes careful strategic planning. The future of your warehouse is on S/4HANA, that much is clear. The only question left is your migration strategy ready for the journey?